shy, you might land a few hits, but guaranteed you never heard shit like this.
What's up, my dude?
Dude, what is up?
Not much, man. Just enjoying my Saturday.
Dude, me too. I had a little bit to drink last night, and then I was like, new house and everything is coming together. And yesterday we got our appliances put in. So, we're kind of celebrating and whatnot, and woke up with a little bit of a headache. It's gone. Now I cracked some PBR hard tea seltzers. I'm talking
Dude, those are so good.
Dude, I just found them like the other week.
Bro, so when I was visiting my parents for Christmas in Wisconsin, obviously over Christmas, I just was doing some grocery shopping with my cousins, and we hit the liquor aisle, and I'm like, PBR hard tea. I'm like, interesting. I'm going to take a risk on this one. And I cracked it open, never looked back.
Dude, I'm right there with you. Yeah, my girlfriend and I, her friend visited, and I had to go out and buy some drinks and whatnot. And of course, I got like some beers and stuff for myself because I love beer. I love my strong IPAs. I love the what everyone hates, basically. And I saw these, and I was like, damn. It's I think people get turned off by the fact that it's made by Pabst Blue Ribbon. Oh, 100%.
But I was like, dude, I poured one over ice at like our little Christmas party that we had. I'm like, man, I am on top of the world right now.
Dude, yeah, and it's brewed with black tea. So it's like,
it's awesome.
Dude, it's just, on a hot day, dude. Oh,
yeah, shout out to PBR. Great idea.
Yeah, because, so I've always loved PBR, and especially like, their look and their marketing is just so good. And my guy that I know from Liquid Death, which I have all of this Liquid Death stuff, like it's amazing. Shout out to Sticks. He used to work at PBR.
Oh,
so
sick.
Before Liquid Death, he was at PBR, and that's how I got all this PBR shit. So I'm kind of like grateful to PBR from before when he, I started to know him and whatnot. And now that I know him and he's worked there and hooked me up, like just die hard PBR. Like people hate on it all the time, but I'm like, yeah, what is wrong with PBR? What do you like? Natty Ice, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Natty, that shit can just fuck right off forever.
But I heard they have a good seltzer though.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little skeptical on that one. And I guess speaking of seltzers, I am drinking a Truly Pineapple right now.
Ooh.
That is just undeniably my favorite drink. I don't know why. It just hits for me. You know what I mean?
Well, shit. Cheers, dude. I'll take a swig.
Cheers,
right now. Isn't it kind of weird that like it feels like, it's pretty recent since the big boom of all these seltzers. White Claw kind of started it back up.
Yeah. So actually, I was retelling a little memory to my buddy the other day because he was talking about the same thing about the boom of like the seltzers and like every single brand in existence is trying to like one up the other. But I was at a Fry's probably in like 2017. I went to this taco festival in Scottsdale. It was pretty awesome. There's like just obviously like just a bunch of taco stands and like lucha libre wrestling. It was pretty sick, dude. But it was like insanely packed, so I just got an Uber back to my house. I'm like, this is too much for me. But yeah, I went to the Fry's and I was like, White Claw, what is this? This is interesting. And I grabbed a little 6-pack and I was just sipping on it at my house. I'm like, okay, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd buy it again. And then like, fast forward all these years later, it's like that's primarily what I drink. There's this, hard seltzers. Yeah, you know, the beer kind of catches up to you unless you're like working out every single day. And I don't know.
Dude,
I'm
yeah,
a fan of the
crazy.
seltzers.
Yeah, I mean, when it first started, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so stupid. Like, this is such a trend. It's going to die out. Like, White Claw, like, just because it was like, the demographic was so just like party hard college, you know, go hards. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah. And then it hit the touring scene and I'm like, oh shit, it's game over now.
Yeah, I think the seltzers are taking over, like no questions asked.
But I think it's funny that it has this huge resurgence and every single company pretty much has a seltzer now, to the point where like, I mean, yeah, PBR came late to the party, but like, it's funny because I'm looking it up because I couldn't remember what it was, but Zima, was the OG seltzer, and that because I remember, I forget if it was my parents or I was talking to people that were twice my age, and I brought seltzers or something, probably White Claws or Trulies, and they're like, "Oh, what's this?" I was like, "Oh, it's a seltzer, like it's, you know, new and everything like that." And they're like, "Are you kidding me?" I remember having Zimas back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember being a kid and seeing like my parents or my parents' friends drinking those, and I remember seeing like the ads in magazines and like the commercials and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I've always been intrigued. Look, obviously I couldn't have one when I was a kid, but like I've always wondered what a Zima tastes like nowadays. You know?
Me too. Yeah. I mean,
I think one of my uncles or something said it just tastes like a boozy Sprite.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm looking at this because I had to Google it because I was like, is it Zima? I couldn't remember. It was a Z, but apparently I was introduced in 1993.
Okay.
By the Coors Brewing Company. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to try them. I don't think I've ever seen them in stores, but they're selling them. So
yeah, I think they did actually have like a comeback or something. If I might just be imagining that, but I feel like I did see like a reboot of Zima probably right around the time White Claw was first introduced.
Let's see here.
But I haven't seen it anywhere by me.
Yeah, this is just like, you know, when you type in Google like a question, it says like the people ask part.
Yeah.
So this says Zima was discontinued in October of 2008 everywhere other than Japan, according to the Daily Mail. I don't need to say that. Zima was coming back for a limited summer release, and this was March 30th, 2020. 2020? Jesus.
Dude, yeah. Speaking of the Google, like typing in questions to Google, that stuff cracks me up sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Just because like I was like, my cat was sitting next to me one night on the couch, and she does this weird thing where she'll sit next to me or like, you know, like on top of like my chest. When she gets comfortable, she'll do like this little rapid fire sneeze, but it only happens when she lays down. So that's I just strange. Like Google search like, why does my cat sneeze or something when she gets comfortable?
Because it's
but like one of the questions, it's because, you know, you started by typing, why does my cat? And then like,
oh no,
I saw some like question pop up like, why is my cat trying to kill me? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dude, I like cats and I can appreciate them, but at the same time I don't fuck with them. Because
I just like my cat. Anyone else is like, that's their thing. That's their little bonding relationship.
Yeah.
But mine is just me personally. Mine's just like the sweetest little person.
I think it might be different if I personally went out and like got a baby kitten and raised it and like, you know, grew up with it, you know. But I think the reason why I don't necessarily fuck with cats is because I don't know how old I was. I must have been like elementary school. My brother and I were laying like belly down, Superman style, in front of this cat, you know, like petting it and whatnot. Both of us side by side, cat in front of us. And luckily he didn't get hurt, but like the eyelid scratched on the eyelid.
Mm-hmm.
And since that, I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. But I mean, they're sweet, but like you can get a fucking asshole of a cat.
Sourced and bottled in majestic mountains, Liquid Death Mountain Water will murder your thirst.
This episode is brought to you by Liquid Death Mountain Water. Murder your thirst with their stone cold, sparkling or still, tall boy mountain waters. My favorite is a sparkling, but I'll let you decide. So, hydrate your thirsty ass and say death to plastic. head over to liquiddeath.com to get your fix. Listeners of the Danny Toddcast can get free koozies when you add them to your cart and use the code DTOD at checkout. That's DTODD at checkout. Just make sure you add the koozies to activate the code. So kill plastic pollution, drink Liquid Death. LiquidDeath.com, get you some.
Like I've been living with my roommate for about a year now, and it's just up probably for maybe the last 2 months. My cat has like finally let him into her like little circle, I guess, if you want to call it that, you know?
Yeah. But at the same,
she would like torment him for months and months.
Even though he's now in the good graces of the cats, there's still in that cat's head be like, don't test me. Don't test me, motherfucker.
No,
I'll
I tell him that all the
out.
time. I tell him that all the time. I'm like, dude, watch out. Like, she might just swipe the fuck out of you.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man.
But,
so, dude,
yeah.
it seems like you've been pretty busy considering that Fox Lake is just popping off.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yes, for lack of a better term, I'm very busy. I don't have much of a personal life anymore.
Whatever.
Which is fine. I mean, I don't really care. I used to love, going out to bars, and partying and stuff like that, but I'm more content with just sitting at home and sipping on some Trulies and, kind of keeping up on all my stuff, that I'm committed to.
Well, hold on. How old are you? We're like the same age, I think.
I'm 32.
Oh, never mind. Well, close.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel, especially because I'm pretty sure 90% retired from the touring world. And now, here, because I moved to Idaho, house, working.
You're in Idaho now?
Yeah, I moved to Idaho, dude. It's been
I thought you were still in the Bay.
No, I moved here. Let me see. I have to pull up the calendar because I have to visualize this shit. I think it's been a little over 2 months, maybe.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, congrats, man.
Thank you, man.
That's a big move.
It's been a change. It's crazy, but it's nice. I mean, the whole point for me relaxing on the touring and kind of retire from that is because I wanted to, have more of a life, I guess, even though I'm working, 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, doing that thing, have like that more of an adult life and, settled down a little bit. And it all worked out. I ended up, getting into a relationship. Now I'm, moved here, house, grown up shit, which is the whole reason why I wanted to pull back from touring. So it's all working out. But I bring that up because I totally relate to you. As we get older, the bar doesn't seem that fun. I mean, yes, since the pandemic and stuff, I would like to go to a local bar here, just to pop in and get a drink or two, but I'm not going to get shitty.
Yeah, dude, I totally feel that. It's so last night, I think, I'm sorry. Okay. Yesterday was kind of probably one of the most fun days I've had in a while, where it was very light on work. And I saw that new M. Night Shyamalan movie. Oh. Called Old. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
No, I'm gonna look this up.
It's interesting. I'd say it's not a complete train wreck, but I would suggest, or I would advise, if you're intrigued by anything that director has done, I'd definitely give it a shot and go see it.
Shit.
But yeah, we went to this place called Roadhouse Cinema. So they had a bar and stuff. And so, we had a couple beers before the movie. And then afterwards, last night, actually went to a stand-up show. Are you familiar with the comedian Harlan Williams?
It sounds familiar. I'll have to look him up. Or
he's had a bunch of supporting roles in movies throughout the 90s and 2000s.
Okay.
I guess more notably, he was the cop in Dumb and Dumber that drank that bottle of pee.
Oh shit. Okay, cool.
And then he was the hitchhiker in There's Something About Mary.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was in Half Baked too with Dave Chappelle and that other guy. I can't remember his name.
Okay, so he's done some shit.
So yeah, and I mean, I'm a tad bit hungover today, but we had a good night and came home, watched some wrestling that I DVR'd, and here we are.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I've never been to like a stand-up show. I've always wanted to. Hopefully I can, because some people, I'm in Post Falls, Idaho. We are literally like 30 minutes from Spokane, Washington.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of acts come through there. That, or they go to Boise, but Boise's like over 4 hours away, and I'm not doing that shit. But yeah, I definitely want to go see some. I love, stand-ups. I watch them all the time on Netflix. Some of the podcasts I listen to are stand-up comedians. So
yeah,
I just got to get to one.
Yeah, me and my boss actually got tickets to see Nick Swartzen in October. So I'm pretty pumped on that. And apparently we're front row too, so I guarantee you we're gonna get roasted by him at least once or twice.
That's sick. I love him, dude. Oh fuck, he's so good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's
I'm really getting into going to the stand up shows. That's it's a fun vibe,
Dude, I'll have to look. Is it a tour, or is he just going?
I'm not entirely sure. My boss bought the tickets, and that's all I really know right now.
Because I'll have to look it up and see what his routing is. Because I was just looking at Tom Segura.
Yeah.
So he has a huge tour, and the closest is Seattle, and that's another same distance as it is to Boise, like 4 hours or something. So I'm like, and the only show that is like still able to buy tickets near there is on a Sunday. It's like, maybe if it was like a Friday night or like a Saturday, make a weekend trip out of it. But I'm like, damn, dude, I got work on Monday. I can't do that shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, dude. Sundays are strictly for relaxing and going to bed at like 8:30.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I mean, with the Fox Lake band, they've been around. When did they come out?
They've been around. I'm at rough estimate. I believe they said they've been around since about 2016 or 2017.
What?
But so I guess like a small little backstory. Like during the pandemic, dude, like obviously the music stuff was, kind of picking up for me and, kind of hitting my stride, as a young manager. And then obviously everything just came crashing down, and like all the plans that I had in the pipeline, for these bands just went to shit.
Damn.
And had no idea what we were doing. But so, just locked in my room in about around April of 2020, I get an email from this band, Fox Lake, and, they sent me their entire media kit, full album, 2 music videos, all of their social visual assets, just everything that you could ask for a band that's cold emailing you, It's like, I need everything right in front of me if I'm just going to be getting like, a random email. So I checked them out, and I went to their Spotify. They had maybe 2, maybe 3 singles, probably released, throughout the span of like 2 years.
Yeah.
And maybe like 250 monthly listeners. And I'm like, this is going to be a task, if I take them on. But then I listen to the album, and I'm like, whoa, this is like some cutting edge, like stuff I've never. It's like, you've got, your bands like Attila and like Body Count and like, all those other like, rap metal bands. And it's just like, yeah, we've heard it before, whatever. But like, I listen to the album Silence and Violence, and I'm like, this is something way different, though.
So fucking sick.
This is like tastefully done. Like Nathan, the vocalist, actually has real bars that he's spitting.
Oh yeah. And
like the music and the production is just perfect. The interludes, like those hip hop beats, like super sick, like and just great transitions and stuff. And I'm like, I hit up Mike Milford, who I work closely with, who owns Modern Empire Music.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, Mike, you have to check this band out. I know, they don't have much of a following, so it's going to be tough for us to like, build them up. But I think it's going to be worth the work and the effort that we put into this if we're behind it, And so I had to kind of bug him for a couple of months because, obviously during the pandemic, attention spans were elsewhere and people were just kind of focusing on themselves. But I was just like, I was hounding Mike every single day. I'm like, dude, you have to listen to this album. You have to. And one day he's just like, hey, can you resend me that link for the album that you were talking about? I was like, yeah. Not 30 minutes later, he's like, dude, I'm sending over the contract right now.
Damn.
I'm like, let's go, dude. Let's fucking go.
Dude, that's so fucking sick. Yeah. I listen to them literally, no joke, every day.
That's awesome, man. I love hearing that.
Especially, I mean, you know, I love to work out, and it's just one of those that I start. Well, now that is it an EP? It's just a shorter. It's an EP, right? The new one. Was it Lady Luck?
Yeah, Lady Luck. It's like it's essentially 3.5 songs because Railbird's like 48 seconds long.
I wish it was longer, bro.
I know. But we kind of take this like all killer, no filler approach with the band because, you know, like Brandon, their guitarist, like he just kind of straight up admitted, he's like, dude, I can write a riff and almost construct a whole song within like 20 to 30 minutes.
Dude, that's
I'm just like, and he's like, dude, so like if we're going to be consistently releasing music, you know, every year, like it's so easy for us to do. I'm like, I love that. That's so awesome. Like, so yeah, definitely our plan for the rest of the year is just to, you know, drop a couple B-sides hopefully from Lady Luck.
Dude, that'd be sick.
And I'm trying to get the guys to do a cover song, like a really good, solid cover song, nothing like cringy, like the stuff that's out there, and like not talking crap about, you know, Our Last Night, but nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, no shade. That's their niche, whatever you want to call it. Like that's their vibe, you know, they do it damn well, but like,
yeah,
you know, for Fox Lake, that's definitely not the route.
Yeah. Because like, they're just like, we're not about to cover a top 40 song. I'm like, no, I would not advise that whatsoever.
I don't know, dude.
Like,
they should cover that new Justin Bieber song. I don't know if it's Justin Bieber's song, but it's that with that Kid something. Kid
Leroy.
Dude, they should cover that new song. That's sick.
That might be a tough one to convince them to do.
Yeah, because it's two white boys.
Yeah, I was thinking like, because they're huge fans of like Rage and like, you know, Rage Against the Machine.
There you go.
And I was like, you guys should do like Sleep Now in the Fire or something like that. That would be so sick. But yeah, that's just you know, we're trying to just, you know, kind of discuss it internally right now and just figure out what's gonna work for them. But yeah, dude, Fox Lake, man, like this band is like the poster example of positive trajectory and like just nothing but growth since like, you know, we started working together.
So can you give like an example on how much obviously me from not knowing who they are to now literally listening to them every day, like, can you kind of maybe you don't have to give numbers or anything, but maybe like an idea of like what that kind of is? Cause I mean,
sure.
I personally, I mean, I have some sort of insight cause I've toured for over 10 years, but like that also is stuff that I don't normally hear about. So, and I'm sure people listening might want to know too, because they're curious.
Yeah, like I said before, you know, when we started, you know, it had roughly 300 monthly listeners. Sorry. And, you know, so I think it was like April of 2020 we started working, and then, you know, they had all the record and the videos ready and everything. So we dropped, what's the song? Tunnel Vision in like September of last year.
Okay.
And I guess let me backtrack a bit here. So I guess once I had the record, you know, and once I fully committed to working with the band, I just started sending some of the songs, you know, to like, you know, kind of like, you know, my peers like in the industry, just to kind of like, you know, create some like initial hype, just to kind of make people aware of like who they are and like, you know, what I'm doing with them. So, you know, I sent some songs to Elijah from Cane Hill. I know you've interviewed him before.
Yeah, dude, I love Elijah. He's actually, of all, let's see, this is episode 123. He is the most listened to episode.
Yeah, dude, Whit is one of my favorite people. I've known him since like 2014, I think.
Solid dude.
I love that guy. Yeah. So I sent him some songs. I sent, you know, Chris from like Moss to Flames, some stuff. My buddy Brighton, he plays drums in Dead Crown, another Modern Empire band.
Dude, that's another band that I listen to every day at the gym.
Yeah, dude, I love Dead Crown. Great
You're killing
people.
me here, dude. Shit. That's sick.
Yeah, dude, I was just like, you know, floating some songs around to people. I'm just like, hey, this is a new band I just picked up. Check them out. what do you think? You know, we're dropping a record in October. But yeah, just let me know what you think. If you feel inclined, maybe send out a tweet or something, maybe, you know, try to get them a couple more followers. And, yeah, just everyone I showed it to, they're like, dude, this band is so fucking cool. Like, it's just such a vibe. Like, I'm just like, yeah, man, like, I kind of got lucky on this one. And, but, yeah, I guess, you know, just, I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, you know, we've known each other for several years. Like, you kind of know, like, you know, I like to talk, and, you know, like, I like to
I'd say more
people.
than several years.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it goes back to like 2010.
I mean, that's when I started. So, I mean, we've known each other for
when you were rolling with the Mice Boys when they first started. And fucking like, that whole San Diego scene and everything. So yeah, we definitely crossed paths a lot.
Oh yeah.
And but yeah, dude, I guess leading up to the release, you know, we dropped Tunnel Vision and the video that it was attached to it, and it just like right out of the gate, I think it just like turned a lot of heads, like you know, with like in the Modern Empire Network, you know, like the YouTube channel and everything.
Oh, for sure.
And it just like, it's just one of those things where like it just kind of came out of nowhere. People are like, "Whoa,
it did."
How does this band have like no followers, or like, but they're making like these like A+ songs, you know?
That's why I think it shocked me. I was like, what the hell? Why haven't I heard about this?
But yeah, I mean, like they like, so I guess going back a little bit, they've been grinding, you know, for a few years, several years in the Denver scene, but I think they've only done like, you know, maybe a couple 7 to 10 day long like tours, like just really, maybe like B or C market tours.
Well, now they're probably doing they got some banger shit probably coming.
Oh yeah, dude, we've got tons of shows lined up for the rest of the year. I'm trying to think, like they have like a couple small festivals.
Nice.
They're doing a run with this band called Mind's Eye. They're kind of like a Turnstile type like rap hardcore band from Denver. Yeah, they're really cool. Like I really dig their stuff. And we got a couple national opener slots.
Ooh.
They're doing Silent Planet and Dying Wish in Denver.
Oh, okay. That's
cool. And then they're also doing Volumes and Varials, I think in like Kansas City, but that's like on the way to start a tour.
Yeah.
That's not announced yet.
All right.
But yeah, it's just like a lot of things are just kind of falling into place for them. We don't have a booking agent yet, but we do have Europe and UK lockdown. So that's going to be conversations that we're going to have like mid 2022.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you know, it's you know, like I just kind of tell all of my bands, like, dude, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint, you know. It's like, it's great, you know, like, you know, I love when bands like know their worth and like and stuff like that. But like, you know, you just got to build it up to, you know, you got to build your following to equal that worth. If that makes sense.
This episode is brought to you by Draft Top. Draft Top has created a product that allows you to unlock the aroma of what is inside your cans. Smooth pours and open top make it on par with drinking from a glass. Add ice, pour in some booze, or garnish that sucker if you fancy. You can also drink it a lot faster too. I'm just saying. So, get one for yourself. It also makes a great gift. Change your experience of drinking from a can. Head over to drafttop.com and save when you use code ToplessCrew10. Of course, I know it from a different standpoint of the touring world. Like, I'm not in a band, of course, but, you know, like we've mentioned, you know, I've toured for a little over 10 years. You know, like it going off of what you're saying, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like, if you treat it like a sprint, like, you're going to just fizzle out. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's some bands that, you know, make it happen and they change their way of doing things. But it's like, you got to keep in mind, like, if you're in a band and you're in your mid 20s, you know, upwards of your 30s, you know, like, if you're going to do this, you got to do it. And you got to realize that if you're going to do it, you're going to have to make it worth your time and make it your career. Like, you know, I highly doubt you want to go back home, you know, in between tours and go work at the fucking, you know, gas station or McDonald's or something to make wage. It's like,
yeah,
you know, you got to fucking do it. And do it right and take your time. Like, it's going to be like shitty at times, but like, if you like, you're going to do this for your entire life pretty much until you can't pick up a mic or a guitar or whatever. So it's like, take your time, do it right. in the long run, it'll help.
And it's like, a lot of the bands that I speak to or work with, or, what have you, obviously the biggest goal for a lot of these bands is to either get a solid label or, a big time booking agent. But, in the grand scope of things, you have to put yourself in the agent or the label's shoes and think like, is this going to be a worthy investment for the agent or the label if we have not much to show for it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like right now we're just in the stage of like creating this hype, creating the demand, and then just seeing what follows afterwards. So I'm taking my time. I think everything's been going great for Fox Lake. We did actually get some serious Octane placement in
cool.
late 2020, which was awesome. Completely out of left field too. Like I wasn't even like, I mean, I'll admit it. Like I had no part in making that happen. Cause like one day, the band texted me and there's like, yo, Jose Megan from Octane just liked our Facebook page.
Ooh.
What did you? I'm like, interesting. They're like, did you have anything to do with this? I'm like, honestly, no, I can't take credit for that.
Yeah.
They're just like, well, what should we do? Should we message him? I'm like, no, honestly, we should just wait and see what happens. I think this was like a Wednesday. And come Friday that week, I'm sitting in my office, and I just get this like text from like the band too. They're just like, hey, this random fan on Facebook just messaged us saying that we're on Octane. I'm like, what? And then I checked Twitter, like the Octane Twitter, and like sure enough, it said like on this week's test drive, Fox Lake and like 2 other bands. I'm like, oh my God, that is really, really cool.
That's sick.
So yeah, and then Jose, like shout out to him. He gave Fox Lake a really nice like rub like endorsement like on the air, because he was saying like this band reminds me of Body Count, with Ice-T. Like, and he's like, I love me some rap rock, rap metal.
Dude,
he's like this band is like going to be the future of the genre. I was like, fuck, dude, that's so cool.
Body Count and Fox Lake, they need to do a tour together. That'd be sick. I'm putting it out there.
Yeah, that's definitely number one on the band's wish list.
Oh,
is
I would
tour
imagine.
Body Count.
For sure, dude.
It's actually funny. The other day, Nathan from Fox Lake tweeted, "All I want right now is for Ice-T to listen to Lady Luck," and then he tagged Fox Lake, and then I just hit reply all in the tweet. I was just like, yeah, I was actually just thinking the same thing today. Like, I'm not even lying. Like I was like earlier that day. And then, then like minutes later, Ice-T liked my reply, but he didn't like Nathan's tweet. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Well, who knows? Maybe he gave it a listen.
But hey, the name of Fox Lake was planted into his brain for at least a few minutes.
It was. See, that's like one of those things. Like even with, I mean, it can go for anything, whether you are like applying for a job or like, say a photographer and you want to get on a tour and you send out that email or resume or something. Like if you don't get the tour or the job or whatever it might be, one, they still have your name in your email in their computer or whatever, or your resume. Like they can come back to it, I think I can't, have a specific memory of when this has happened, but I've definitely reached out to a band or something and like, it didn't work out then, but like years and years down the road where I even forgot that I even asked, then they hit me up. Like, I wish I knew it's on the tip of my tongue. Maybe it'll come back to me, but I mean, that's, you gotta do it. So let's, everyone listening, send out the tweet, Ice-T, Body Count, Fox Lake, Stadium.
2022, let's go.
Let's go. Damn.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, I'm actually happy you mentioned that, because I think that's kind of like when people ask me, because I get a lot of people that ask me like, what's your best advice being a manager or working with bands in general?
Mm-hmm.
And I just say, don't get discouraged if someone doesn't reply to you or if someone says no, just straight up.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually more happy if someone tells me no versus not replying.
Oh, well, of course, yeah.
But it's just like you just said, if they say no, or even if they just brush you off, they still saw the email more times than not.
Yeah.
They still saw the tweet or the text, whatever. It's like you're in their heads at this point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like more, yeah. Like I tell my bands, like I'm very straightforward with them on who I'm contacting for certain things. It's because I don't like them to be left in the dark on anything.
Yeah.
But I never make false promises on anything that I do.
That's good.
It's like, for example, you know, I tell a band, hey, I'm going to hit up Sumerian Records today and, you know, pitch the album to them. But I'm not going to make any promises that it's going to happen, but I will contact them and I will let you know what happens.
Yeah, of course.
So I like to just keep it very realistic. You know, I'm not like some car salesman or like hype man where I'm like, yep, we're going to get this record deal. They are going to like you. It's going to happen, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, it's just like, I just want to keep it very straight to the point with everybody that I work with.
Well, yeah, so. I mean, because if you make those empty promises and, you know, like say you reach out to that record label for this band and, you know, they just don't like what they're listening to or whatever. And they're just like, nope, no sign. And then you have to go back to the band like, hey, sorry guys. Yeah. That's a quick way to get fired for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's like, and I keep it real with like everybody. It's just like, dude, there's tons of resources out there. Like, you know, one label isn't the end all be all for, you know, you as a band or an artist. It's just like, okay, they said no. All right, let's move on. Let's think about another outlet to go pursue. It's fine. You know, so like I said, marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. So what, I mean, going off of like, you know, body count, like, and what, it was Jose, right? Mangan?
Yeah.
He was saying like, you know, being at the top of this genre, what kind of like, because it's obviously like a subgenre within like what, metal or something.
Mm-hmm.
So what would it, I mean, what is it, like rap, metal, or what is it called?
So the band Fox Lake markets themselves as hardcore hip hop.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's got a really nice ring to it.
So
I guess like the first record, Silence and Violence, that was more heavier on the hardcore. I'm trying to think. It was really thick and like, you know, heavy on like the hip hop elements.
Okay. Yeah.
And now Lady Luck was more of like 80, maybe 70, 80% hardcore with like different types of like flows and like structures, you know, for like the rapping and hip hop parts. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's like the band is very well aware of what they're doing with their sound, but we're like you said, it's all killer, no filler. You know, for the next few releases, like, you know, every single release moving forward is going to be a change in sound, but it's still going to be true to like the roots of the band, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I guess the reason why I ask is because from like, you know, your job and doing, you know, some marketing stuff and reaching out and, you know, doing what you do, which hopefully maybe you can explain a little bit more. Like, even for myself, like I know a little bit about it, but just from what I've seen, but like a band like this, where it's hip hop and that hardcore, like, does it like one make it like a little harder? And how are you going about things? Cause you know, it's different, you know, you can't like, I don't know, like the hip hop might scare some people away for the touring world, you know, like vice versa. Like what's going on with that? Like, how is it different or harder?
That's a good question. So, I mean, I guess that was like a concern of mine starting off, you know, with the band. Mm-hmm. But I guess like, I mean, just seeing the response from like all different types of like figures in the industry, like, you know, your metalcore bands, your hardcore bands, you know, a couple, what am I saying? It's just like people of all different types of genres or subgenres in the rock world were just very receptive to this band and have like, you know, they say like, oh, we've got to go on tour sometime. Like, you know, that you take that with a grain of salt, but mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, we'll see it when we see it. But I don't know. I don't think there's any real rhyme or reason to really sell the band on anybody at this point anymore. Mm-hmm. Just because we've seen the response and we've just seen it like welcomed with open arms. So it's just like, okay, I guess all those concerns are out the window at this point.
Okay. Like, so it's kind of like if you know, the music's great, you know, it's popping off, it's gaining traction, you know, it kind of just is doing it on its own. Let the people do it. Let the band friends do it. Let, you and I on the podcast talking to it. Hopefully anyone listening to this, can go and listen to it. And if anything, it might just make it a little bit, not easier on you, because you still got to do work, but like with shit that's popping off, a lot of it can just live on the internet and just kind of take over and grow.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it's kind of just hard to, it's almost borderline unexplainable, like how this was so well received so quickly. But I don't know, man. I'm just embracing it, Yeah. I'm just like, all right, cool. I mean,
gotta have fun with it.
Like I said, Cane Hill, like Moths, Dead Crown, even one of the dudes from I Prevail, one of their vocalists, like hit us up saying, like, dude, this is so fucking cool. Like, congrats on this album release. I'm like, thanks, man. That's really cool to hear that from you.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, we're well, like I know the band's worth, and I'm just trying not to exhaust everything that we have, super quickly. It's just, again, I say this a million times, marathon, not a sprint. You've got all these shows, you got all these tours lined up. Let's just keep being consistent and putting out banger ass shit. That's all I can really say.
I know. Man. I'm stoked for you. I'm obviously stoked for, the Fox Lake guys. Maybe you mentioned it to me. Maybe we can do another one with one of the members or something like that. Figure it out.
They actually already said they'd be down. So
sick. I don't know how we would do it or what we would do. We'll figure it out. But
yeah,
anyone listening, check out. Let's see here, Fox Lakes, Lady Luck. That's the new little. Was it 3.5?
Yeah, 3.5 songs, 3.5 songs,
3.5 banger, and then the other one is Silence and Violence for sure. I actually have to go look at the music videos. I'm gonna do that right after we do this. But anyone listening want some new music and it's a banger, or you want to go psycho fuck at the gym, Fox Lake, 100%. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked for you because I've known you for so long, and this is just. It's cool to know that you're attached to a band that's popping off and you're doing well and all that, and you have your clothing company as well. Like,
yeah, dude.
And because you brought it up, I have it up here. Was it called Sext Panther?
Sext Panther.
Dude,
yeah.
I pulled it up and immediately I'm like, oh fuck. Okay. There's a bunch of titties everywhere.
Yeah, man. It's
not safe for work. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Not safe for work whatsoever. So be careful.
So besides absolutely killing it with, Fox Lake and, doing the managing thing like that, you're also working at this, I guess, Sext. Why can't I say that? It's so weird to Sext Panther. So what are you doing there?
So I'll try to keep this one brief.
I'm just curious. You don't have to, you don't have to go into it if you don't want to. I'm trying to put you on the spot. I'll
explain the journey real quick.
Yeah, were you customer turned employee or?
No,
I'm just kidding.
No.
Okay.
I want to say like 2012-ish. I visited my friend Alex in Madison, Wisconsin, where he was going to college. I used to drive about an hour out there to go party with him and a bunch of other friends I went to high school with. And, I walk into his apartment, I go into his room and he's just kind of spinning around in his chair, deep in thought. And I'm like, what's up, dude? He's just like, I got this idea, man. I think I'm going to run with this. I'm like, what is it? And he's just like, it's called sextpanther.com. And I'm like, what is it though? Like, explain it to me. Sell me it. It's like, sell me this pen,
Yeah.
And he's like, it's like a mobile communication service where, say us as porn or adult connoisseurs go to this website and, we can purchase a phone number to text our favorite porn stars.
Mm-hmm.
And the texts are monetized, the phone calls are monetized per minute. You can send photos, videos. We actually just launched a video calls feature, which has been doing well.
Right on.
All within the website too, so you don't have to go to Skype or anything like that.
Oh, shit.
but yeah, I mean, I told him, like, dude, that's a great idea. Like, I wish you the best of luck on that. And then fast forward, 4 years later, I was getting home because I did a tour with Let Live, and then right after that, I did 2.5 weeks of Warped Tour in 2016.
Oh, sick. Okay.
And then I come home, I sleep for like 2 days because I was just completely, absolutely shot.
For sure.
And, I go back to my, my job that was on hold at this like sushi bar in Tempe, Arizona. And dude, I was there for not even 5 days after I got back from tour. I was like, I hate this job. I'm done. And I told my now boss that, and he's just like, well, I need a lot of help, with Sex Panther, because he was doing it like all DIY, bootstrapped, like it was just him and like, his developers working together. And so I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll do whatever you need me to do as long as I don't have to work this stupid job and like I can go to college, just kind of do Sex Panther, in my free time, make some extra cash. And so I kind of just grew into the role since 2016. So I'm considered head of model support.
Okay.
So if like the models, on the site, because we have several thousand of models that are on the site.
Yeah, I'm looking at this site right here, and it's endless.
Yeah, it's between porn stars, fangirls,
right now,
like fetish models, like OnlyFans girls, like you name it, like we have it. But yeah, like I said, I just kind of grew into the role. I guess I just wear several different hats, in the company.
Okay.
I mean, outside of my boss, because he knows everything about the website, I would like to think that I know close to almost everything solution-wise and like, how to navigate, the back end stuff. So yeah, I mean, I've grown into the role, and like my boss takes care of me very well, and
that's good, man.
And I'm still able to, it's a flexible position to the point where I'm able to like handle band stuff and like, do like, grow my own business, that I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
So
it's
just, yeah.
So if they have like an issue or something, they're talking to you, or like.
Yeah. So we have separate email channels for, each department, model support, customer support, payroll, stuff like that.
Okay.
So we try to keep everything just very organized and try not to cross too many wires, on the back end.
Of course, yeah. Well, damn, dude, that's pretty sick. Interesting.
Yeah, man, I've met a lot of interesting people in the industry, and we've gotten to travel a bit, and
I was gonna say,
it's fun.
Yeah. And did you? I thought I saw it on your Instagram, or maybe you texted me. Did you went to? Is it called Exotica?
Yeah, we went to the Exotica convention. That was last weekend. Dude,
that must have been nuts.
It was okay.
It was okay. Nothing crazy.
I kind of think the convention aspect of the adult industry is kind of fading out. Just from what I see, from my perspective, I could be wrong. It could have been just a combination of that, and plus maybe people just weren't ready to go back to conventions after stuff opening up again.
That could be it.
But we only went Friday night. It was cool though. I mean, we saw some old friends and caught up with some people. Yeah, it was pretty laid back. We didn't have like an exhibitor booth or anything like that. We just bought tickets and just kind of went as fans, I guess.
Well, I'm glad this is my personal computer, because that search history would not be chill. So, when I closed that, because I have your Cruelty Club clothing company pulled up here because I wanted to bring it up. Just for fun, or what's up with it? I mean, like, that's another thing that I've seen that, popped out of nowhere. I mean, what's the vibe behind that? Just for fun? What's going on?
So I guess, I don't know if you remember this far back, but back in like the San Diego days, like I was doing that stuff called Falcor clothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I forgot about that.
Looking back, that was more of like a like a MySpace type, kind of crappy designs, whatever. it had no real meaning. We were just like, whatever. We just want to print shirts and see if like, big names or like famous people will wear them.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So it was fun. It was like, I look back fondly on that time, and, it was cool. But like, I had a taste for taking it to the next level with clothing after we eventually stopped doing Falcor. And then me and do you remember Chris Shelley from At the Skylines?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of partnered up on this brand called Motif Republic.
Oh yeah. Okay. I remember that.
Yeah. And honestly, I think the thing I'll say about Motif is there was a lot of trial and error and a lot of learning experiences from that.
Okay.
Because I think I mean I can be open about this. I don't care because if anyone's listening, if they want to start a clothing company, kind of learn from me and like don't do what I did. But when I first launched Motif, I just overbought on inventory, and I kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not overhyped, but I guess like over projected sales. I just thought it was going to be like the fucking hottest thing ever. Like, right out of the gate, send stuff to a bunch of people, hoping that their networks could kind of, influence people to buy stuff,
Yeah.
And it was good, for like the first 2 drops. I think I broke even on both, but then someone influenced me to do like the made to order route.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the print to order. So do pre-orders, whatever. And that just that was kind of the point of the company where it just got too, what's the word I'm looking for? Too overly complicated. Cause none of the designs, I guess the designs and the vibe just wasn't cohesive with everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
It's just it was just kind of just all over the place. And I don't know, man. I took a break in 2013 or 14 from the thing. I was just I just need to rethink this for a little bit. And then, I think I dropped 2 more lines after that. And I just kind of came to a realization, a lot of people told me not to do this, but I just said to myself, I'm I think this name is completely in the fucking ground now. And it just doesn't mean anything to me anymore. So I'm just gonna close the doors on it. I just don't care.
Yeah, gotta know when to hang up the towel on some stuff.
Yeah, because you don't want to seem just the desperate person no one cares about. And you're exhausting all your personal funds into something that's not even selling. So, but it's all good. I had fun. I learned a lot from that one. But I want to say it was 2019. Yeah, I hit up one of my friends that I used to tour with, and I said, dude, I want to start I want to get back into clothing, but I want to take a completely different approach to it. And he's just what are you thinking? And I was just I just want to do some really I'm calling it so nowadays I'm calling it heavy metal streetwear.
Yeah, I see that on the Instagram page.
Yeah, but the original idea was just cool, current, or modern looking, streetwear with a heavy metal edge to it.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's just because I'm saying I take influence from brands like Pleasures out of LA. I'm not sure if are you familiar with that?
No,
brand?
What is it? What?
Pleasures. Yeah,
okay.
Just Pleasures.
Okay.
Yeah, they're super sick. I purchase their stuff every now and then.
I'll have to check it out.
Pleasures, Vice's brand. Kalen from Attila's clothing line.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, really like his stuff. And then Blackcraft too. So it's just a combination of all of those. But yeah, I mean, I was just I just want to make cool clothes. I don't need to spin up some crazy convoluted meaning behind the brand, because I feel if you have a meaning or I guess a mantra or a mission statement behind your brand, it more times than not, a very large percentage of people are not going to care.
Yeah.
So if you're just making cool looking shit, and just kind of keeping up with the modern trends and everything, and just staying parallel to that as they evolve, I don't see any issue with it at all.
All killer, no filler.
Exactly.
Dude, it can apply to so much shit.
But yeah, dude, I sat on the logo, the branding icon, and the 3 designs that I have up right now for literally 2 years.
Damn.
Just because I I was just trying to figure out the best cost efficient way to get it out. And I just, out of a stroke of luck, I got linked up with a printing shop out here in Arizona, and the dudes that own that place, we have a lot of mutual friends around here, so they're kind of helping me out getting this started, giving me some solid pricing and like quick turnaround, and it's local too, so it's not like I have to wait on someone in freaking like Minnesota to like ship me all the stuff. You know what I mean?
Go pick that shit up.
Exactly.
That's
and,
sick, dude.
So yeah, like it's just I figured out a way to keep my costs very low, and I don't know. I'm getting linked up with a lot of great designers right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's like another goal of mine too, is to like just explore all different parts of like the designing or the designer industry when it comes to the merch, and just kind of get fresh takes and perspectives on like all these new drops. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
but like
dude.
still kind of maintaining like the aesthetic and like overall just vibe to it. But
yeah,
I mean, like I've got like I think like 3 or 4 designers working on different stuff right now.
Oh shit! So yeah, you're about to put out some new shit then, huh?
Yeah, I'm shooting for I want to say like mid or late August to do drop number 2.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's coming up real quick.
The pre-orders for the first drop are currently being printed. Should be done within the next week, and then the second I get them, like just gonna spend all night packaging and send out the next morning. So
nice, man. Well, dude, I'm stoked that you're. I mean, one, you know the managing stuff seems like you're killing it with that. Obviously, the Sexed Panther, awesome, cool. It's fun. And then the Cruelty Club. It's cool to know that you're doing well. It's one of those things where it's like so many people these days, are getting bent out of shape and hate to see people, doing their thing and being successful and, having a good time. But like, I think it's amazing. I love it when I, have friends that are just absolutely killing it and, like doing what they want to be doing and just having a good time with it and just being successful. I mean, it's motivating.
Hell yeah, appreciate hearing that from you, man.
Of course.
It's and it's like easy. It's really easy to get discouraged, when like and like, dude, like I'll just preface this by saying the internet's so fucking bullshit nowadays. Sure. But like, it's still easy to get bent out of shape and seeing like, oh, this band got on this radio station, or this band got this tour, or this clothing owner is like, fucking crushing it. But it's like, dude, that's all just like perception. It's just like, it's more times than not, it's just a facade. And like, you never know, like, you aspire to be on the level or be like this person that you perceive to be above you. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, dude, we're all human. Yeah. We're all going to expire one day.
Exactly.
Like, it's just like, just stay in your lane, do what makes you happy. And just don't be a hater,
yeah, do what you love, be happy, don't be a hater, listen to Fox Lake, buy Cruelty Club shit.
That's right.
And drink PBR hard tea seltzers and White Claws, Trulies, or water if you don't drink, whatever.
And sign up to be a Sex Panther user and buy some credits. And
there you go.
Your favorite model.
Get your daily dose of them Yetis. I'll put links and stuff to your, Cruelty Club, Fox Lake, whatnot in the bio, but kind of just shout out where you want people to see you or just plug shit.
I'm on Instagram at BillSomething_. I just say something because I have a very complicated last name and it's been butchered to hell for my entire life. It's pronounced D'Arcangelo.
That's what I thought. Okay. It's just one of those where you look at it and be like, is it really that?
A small percentage of people get it right.
But
it's all good.
Said how it's spelled or how it looks.
It's just people overlook the apostrophe. Arcangelo.
It's a badass last name.
Thank you.
Yeah, but as an Instagram handle, I see where you're coming from, though.
Yeah, so BillSomething _ Cruelty Club. It's just Cruelty Club _ yeah, Twitter, Bill something _ I try to keep it all consistent across all platforms.
Right on. Dude.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to anyone that's listening that bought a Cruelty Club shirt. Definitely exceeded initial expectations by a very big margin. So hopefully we can maintain that and just keep it going and grow it into a big empire.
Marathon, not a sprint, man. You know that, so I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for taking time out of your Saturday. I mean, I wish I had brought more of these PBR hard teas because I smashed both of those. But thank you. Thank you for talking with me. I'm sure we'll do something again, whether it's with Fox Lake or not. I mean, I would love to catch up again, see what's going. Maybe after touring and shit is fully a year of coming back. So yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Podcast.